Okay, so to give you a little bit of background on how lab automation works today, there's basically 3 levels. At the first level, that's what you're seeing at our customers often. Scientists working by hand. This is the overwhelming amount of lab data generated in product development and biotech today, is at this first level, manual. Second level, a scientist walks up to a robot, puts samples on it, and programs it to do a specific task. Okay, that's task targeted. The third level, and you'll see a lot of these around Ginkgo, are work cells. And so you can work with an automation vendor, and you have a robotic arm sitting in the middle of a set of equipment, and it moves samples through multiple steps, but it basically does the same steps over and over. Okay, and this is, again, what a majority of our foundry looks like today. And you can see on that spectrum at the top, you go from very flexible, low amounts of data per dollar to very inflexible, large amounts of data per dollar. All right, and that has been the historical trade-off in lab automation. Okay, we believe that the automation paradigm invented at Zymergen and then expanded on in the last 2 years at Ginkgo since the acquisition ultimately offers flexibility and low-cost data at the same time. The simple idea is that each piece of equipment is its own removable cart. It has a robotic arm connecting it to a magnetic track to deliver samples. You can see it in the video. And when you need a new equipment, you can just add that equipment to the track. It's like adding a little Lego block to that track and incorporate it without needing to build a whole new work cell like you would in level 3 automation. And when you want to do a different protocol on the same equipment, that can be done with the software quickly. And we've been seeing that. We've seen instances where we've taken smaller batch protocols and moved them onto the rack system relatively fast compared to what would have been a multi-month project on a work cell. And then over the last year, we've also been seeing, and this is early data on this, but 80 to 90% labor time reduction, 60% cycle time reduction. We have not done this for the majority of our protocols yet, but the signals are good that we could. And I'll be talking about that as part of our plans for efficiency gains in the third section of the talk today. All right. So these rack systems are made to be very scalable. This is a very different paradigm than what you see with work cell-based automation. Today, we are at the closed loop rack system scale, that one you see there, of order 15 systems. But we've been planning much larger integrated systems as part of achieving long-term efficiency goals in flexible lab data generation. Towards that end, our purpose-built facility that we've been talking about to house these large rack installations, BioFab 1, will be opening in mid-2025. And the best way to think of this facility is a lab data center. Okay, so we have these big data centers in compute, and what you're offered there is common scaled hardware that does lots of different types of compute. Very similar idea here. Common scaled hardware in the form of the racks that can generate a diverse array of lab data output quickly for customers. And hopefully this means as we sign more programs, they can very quickly scale to generate large amounts of data. Okay, so that's a bit on the technology. I believe it will simplify the back end, allowing one automation platform, ultimately, the racks, to replace many different workflows at Ginkgo and work cells. But now I want to talk about the front end, and how we engage with customers when we sell those cell programs.